Hi, this is Bob Poole. Welcome to the Water Cooler Hangout. For over 40 years, I've been helping people like you grow and prosper. Please join me and guests like Seth Godin, Guy Kawasaki, Lauren Cordain, Beverly and Tim Walden, Phil Elmore, and more as we share real-life stories about sales, marketing, leadership, creativity, and current events. Need help in moving to the next level? Find out how others have done it by listening to the Water Cooler Hangout. Hi everyone, this is Bob Poole and welcome to the Water Cooler Hangout. Today is September 28th, 2020. Back in September 28th of 1967, I turned 18 years old. I had graduated from high school a few months earlier, and I'd been working as a full-time reporter and photographer for the local daily newspaper. Yeah, the Daily Planet. No, it wasn't the Daily Planet. It was called The Review. Anyways, I was working for them, and I'd been working there since the summer before my senior year. While I was in there one day typing up some news, I did a lot of reports for the police and fire, that kind of stuff. Anyways, the editor came to me and said that the local Navy recruiter had just walked into the office, and he had a story he'd like someone to write up and put in the paper. So I was elected to talk to him. So we sat down and did the interview, and then after the interview, the recruiter asked me how I planned on, quote unquote, fulfilling my military service. So the Vietnam War was in full force back in 1967, and we also had the draft. Now, they had not started the draft lottery yet, where they pick numbers based on your date of birth. That didn't happen until about 2 years later, in 1969. And by the way, when I checked back in 1969, my number was so high I never would have been drafted. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I wanted to see the world, and I also wanted to get more photography training. And the Navy had some great photography schools, and I knew I'd get to travel, so it seemed like the right solution at the time. The Navy recruiter made a deal with me that as soon as I finished up boot camp, I would be sent to the Photographer A School, it was called, where I would get, it was like 6 or 9 months of training, and then I'd end up being a photographer's mate and do that for a living for 4 years in the Navy. So I did end up seeing the world, by the way. That was about the only thing that came true that the Navy recruiter told me, but that's another story here. So anyway, on my 18th birthday, I traveled with 3 other guys and the same Navy recruiter to the induction center in Cleveland, Ohio, where I raised my right hand and swore an oath to protect and defend the United States Constitution. I was in the Navy, and I'd served 4 years of active duty and 2 years in the reserves. Now, I had also made a deal with the recruiter that I was not supposed to report to boot camp until after the Christmas holidays. In fact, when I told him I did want to enlist, I told him I was not going to enlist until January due to that. So he said, no problem, we'll just make it so that you can enlist on your 18th birthday, but you won't get called up to boot camp until after Christmas. Another lie, by the way. Anyways, about 2 days later, in fact, he called me and said, oh, by the way, for whatever reason, they had some openings. They needed me to report early. And not to worry, though, because it was going to be close to the holidays, they would cut the amount of time in boot camp. And instead of spending 16 weeks there, I'd spend something less and be home for Christmas. Anyways, another lie that the recruiter. So, number one, I'd tell my 18-year-old self that time is going to fly by. By the time you're my age, 71, you'll wonder how it went by so quickly. It's a journey without a predetermined destination, so understand that plans will change, your beliefs will change, important things will change, things that you think are important will change. But your values can still guide you and be a lighthouse for the journey. Now, number two, here's the good news. Life is good. Well, maybe not all the time, but most of the time. When it isn't, what you want to do is don't let the miserable, rotten people, this is a clean podcast, get you down. It will get better. Number 3 is take better care of your health. Exercise more, walk more, play when you need to play, rest when you're tired. Start that right now and make it a habit that'll last your lifetime. It may help you avoid some surgeries later in your life. Number 4, learn not to take yourself so seriously, please. Laugh more. You'll meet a man named Walt Zastawa when you're in your mid-30s, and he's going to teach you how to do both of those things. And speaking of Walt, sing more. You always enjoyed it. Take some lessons. Join a choir or a band. Now, Walt would have appreciated it if you would take some lessons, because you'll find out, no, this is an inside story. I couldn't tell this to my 18-year-old. But Walt and I used to have a few drinks, and we'd then decide to harmonize together. Walt was a professional entertainer and was very good. I didn't have a clue at that point, and I was really bad. But we had fun, and there's a couple recordings out there which I hope have been destroyed of us trying to harmonize. So, 18-year-old self, take some lessons. Number 6, write. The local paper editor and the radio station both hired you when you were 17 to write for them. It's part of your creativity, so don't stop. And speaking of creativity, right now, photography is a big part of your life. Creating things of beauty is worthwhile. So don't ever stop doing that. Don't ever stop creating things of beauty. Don't ever stop creating. Number 8, this might rank in the top 1 or 2 things I'm going to tell you. Find a mentor. Maybe several. I can't stress this enough. The mentor will need to be someone you trust. Listen to them. You'll know in your gut when their advice is right for you. You're probably going to need new ones as the years pass, and you too might be called upon to mentor other people. If you can, do it. Number 9, one of the reasons you'll want to have that mentor is that there are truly evil people in the world. Other people are not always honest. So don't be so gullible and believe everything they tell you, or they will destroy your ability to trust. Speaking of trust, number 10 is trust but verify. However, don't be afraid to ask for help from your mentors. Number 11, avoid people with closed minds. I call them black holes of energy, and they will suck the life out of you. On the other hand, though, number 12, make friends with the right people and stay in touch with them. You're going to travel the world and you're going to meet some wonderful people. Take time to keep in touch. Let them know you're there for them. Send them photos, drop them notes. Hold on to your friendships through the years. Each one of them will have a part in making you the person you are. Now, here's another biggie that might be in the top 1 or 2. Don't worry about what others think or say about you. You won't please everyone. Not everyone's going to like you. Some of them will hurt you on purpose, in fact. Don't try and change their minds. And remember, don't worry about what others think or say about you. Be true to yourself. Number 14, Mom and Dad taught you to love books. Continue that habit. Your life will be richer for it. And who knows, maybe one day you'll write books of your own. Number 15, very easy. 2 words. Trust yourself. Trust the quiet voice inside yourself. Now here's some news. You might already know this. Number 16, you will fail at some things, but you will not be a failure. Fear of failing will always be close by, as it is with everyone, well, other than psychopaths. Don't ever let it paralyze you. Learn to sit with your fear, accept it, and as a friend of yours will one day say to you, learn to dance with it. Number 17, engaging in self-reflection can be a good thing, but don't dwell on what might have been in the past and what could be in the future. You have the day, so use it wisely. Let the past go. Number 18, don't be afraid to love someone, but know that you must love them as they are. I'll say it again. Don't be afraid to love someone, but know that you must love them as they are. Trying to change someone is a waste of time and a surefire way to destroy love. Number 19, make it a point to be kind to animals and little kids. They need it. And number 20, speaking of kindness, always choose kindness over being right. Choose it over revenge. Even choose it over cruelty when you've been hurt. Be a positive influence. The simplest act can make all the difference in the lives of others and yours. And never know that simple act might save someone's life. And last, number 21, forgive others. Forgive yourself. Learn from your mistakes, but even more importantly, learn from other people's mistakes. So there you go, 18-year-old Bob. That's what I would have told you if I could have gone back in time and based on what I know now. So how about you out there listening? What would you say to your 18-year-old self? Think about it. Want to share it with me? You can. Drop me a note at bob@bobpoole.com. That's bob@bobpoole, Poole.com. Over the years, I've had people say to me, if I could go back, even knowing all the things that I know now and live my life over, I wouldn't change a single thing. I find that strange. I can't speak for them. I guess they've made up their mind they wouldn't change a single thing. But I can tell you that if, based on what I know now of my life, I would definitely go back and change some things. So what about you? Would you change things, or would you just live your life the exact same way? Same mistakes, same failures, same successes? Let me know. So anyway, thanks for joining me today here, September 28th, 2020 at the Water Cooler Hangout. And I look forward to seeing you here again soon.